Algebra 2 Cram, New York State, Algebra 2 Regents, Common Core, Basics, Trigonometry, the tangent of the difference of two angles. Number 6, the tangent of A minus B. The odds of someone doing exactly what you tell them to do is pretty slim, but I guarantee that if you cram with me, you'll become an Algebra 2 master. So inbox me at memedicine@gmail.com for pricing and ordering instructions for this entire Algebra 2 cram series. And definitely spread the word to your friends and classmates who need to cram as well. If this isn't the subject you're looking for, inquire about other subject areas available as well as personal packages. All right, let's delve into the concept. Tangent of the difference of two angles. What is the formula for finding the tangent of the difference of two angles? I'll give you a moment to think. This is a hit or miss mental question because it just requires you to download your memory of the formula. All right, hopefully by now you are able to write out your answer, and if not, that's completely fine. It's going to be the tangent of A minus B is equivalent to the tangent of A minus the tangent of B divided by 1 plus the tangent of A times the tangent of B. You're probably like, whoa, okay, so how do we go from here to there? Well, it's kind of simple, but it's going to be explained in several steps. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, we know that the sine of a specific angle is going to be the coordinate opposite. Okay, so the opposite sine of the angle. Then in order to get to tangent, you're going to have to divide it by the cosine. So it's going to be the x coordinate. Let's pretend you have a Cartesian coordinate plane here, and let's pretend this corner is the origin. It's going to be the x coordinate of the adjacent side being the value of the cosine. And let's pretend that the longest side, or the hypotenuse, is equivalent to 1. Okay, this makes explaining this much easier. Don't ask me why, just listen. So you get that when you divide sine by cosine, the value yielded is a tangent. And let's demonstrate this in conceptual terms. So the opposite side over the longest side, remember the longest side is 1, divided by the adjacent side over the longest side is going to yield, well, you know that whenever you have a value and that you're dividing by a fractional divisor, you're going to flip the divisor and multiply the two terms. So the longest sides cancel out, and you're left with opposite over adjacent. Thus, you're left with sine over cosine, or the tangent, okay? Alrighty then. So then it would make sense that the tangent of A is equivalent to the sine of A divided by the cosine of A, and likewise the tangent of B is equivalent to the sine of B over the cosine of B. Thus, this leads to the sine of A minus B divided by the cosine of A minus B is equivalent to the tangent of A minus B. Okay, see the flow of logic? It's kind of like working backwards. Then, if you watch the previous cram series for the sine of A minus B and the cosine of A minus B, you would have learned that the sine of A minus B is equivalent to the sine of A times the cosine of B minus the cosine of A times the sine of B. So we're just performing some substitution. And you would have known if you watched the previous series, which you should, that the cosine of A minus B is equivalent to the cosine of A times the cosine of B plus the sine of A times the sine of B. Okay, this then leads us to this. Well, this is a bit, crowded, and we're just looking for ways to neaten things up a little bit, although you could leave this expression as such. Well, when we peruse each term, we realize that the one term that has the most terms in common is cosine A times cosine B, because in the numerator you find the cosine of B here, and then you find the cosine of A there, and this, it can be divisible by itself. This doesn't have anything in common with that, but we're just going to use this. You could have left it like this, but this is the convention in trigonometry and geometry. So we divide through by the cosine A times the cosine of B, and for the first term we get the sine of A over the cosine of A, which is equal to the tangent of A, then minus the sine of B over the cosine of B, which is equivalent to the tangent of B. Then the cosine of A times the cosine of B divided by the cosine of A times the cosine B is equivalent to 1, plus the sine of A times the sine of B divided by the cosine of A times the cosine of B is basically the same thing as saying the tangent of A times the tangent of B. And that's how we get back to the beginning. This is how we were able to arrive at this. So this is a derivation process. Some of the stuff may seem a little hairy to you, but just trust me, okay? All right. Thanks for tuning in.